Well, in this video, you're about to find out why feeling is not the secret. If you don't know, before we get started, I wrote a book called Relax More, Try Less about Neville Goddard's teachings back in 2015. If you're watching this video right when it comes out, it actually is free today on Kindle. Link is in the description. All my links to all my books are in the description. If you click on that link, you'll be able to get Relax More, Try Less for free on Kindle. That's important to start the video out by saying, because compared to most people in the law of assumption manifestation space, I've been looking at Neville's teachings, interpreting them in my own life, and helping others interpret them in their own life, including as a coach and counselor for people, integrating these Neville ideas directly into their lives for a long time now. And I've seen more shit, and I've got more in the weeds with this stuff in terms of practically helping people, not in some silly esoteric way where it's like just live in the end, but actually integrating the ideas into people's lives and into my own life, much more than just about anybody else you'll find on YouTube. So I guess you could say what I'm about to share is quote unquote advanced. None of this stuff is really advanced. It's all more just like looking at psychology through uncommon common sense and being open-minded, which is something I think Neville was, and I think that a lot of great spiritual and psychological teachers are. It's about being open-minded. And if we're open-minded, we might come up with very different conclusions than what is popular and what we hear about in regards to feeling better and manifestation and self-improvement on places like YouTube, or let alone Neville Reddit or whatever. I say feeling is not the secret, not because I'm dogmatic, but because of the opposite of that, which is, again, I'm open, I'm flexible, I'm nuanced in terms of how I look at these ideas. And without question, feeling is a huge indicator of kind of obviously like where your headspace is at, emotionally where you are at. And it's an indicator of your expectations, what you expect to be happening. But what so often happens in this watered down, pissed down version of Neville's advice is we take a great phrase like feeling is the secret, or, the great advice that Neville shared in that short book, Feeling is the Secret, and we make it something that it probably is not actually going to be for us. Because Neville often talked about that when you really feel that you have something, if you truly are living from the fulfilled state, living from the end, as if you already have it, the feeling is one of relief, a lot of the time at least. It's not necessarily this ecstatic, high vibe state, this blissful state. Oh, I have it now. Ah! I mean, sure, you might have those feelings momentarily or for a brief period of time when you get something you want. But when you actually have something that you desired, when you finally attain it, whether it be a relationship or a certain amount of money or, improved health, when you actually have that thing, it usually does not remain, I'm in bliss state, all that often. People who are, like that, I know them. I know some of those people. I've spent money being coached by some of those people, not in the law of assumption community, mind you, but, some of the best, quote unquote, wealth goddesses, some of the best wealth advice today that you can find in regards to manifestation. A lot of those decent and good coaches still are, when people are too, they might have something good to share, but they're usually trying to sell you something without giving you the full integration. The full integration is that, to paraphrase Neville, after the orgasm comes the relief. Or to quote William Burroughs, one of my favorite quotes when it relates to these ideas, all pleasure is relief. So often the feeling that Neville was at least pointing at a lot of times, that end state feeling, is one of it is done. It is done is not necessarily going to be this crazy feeling, ecstatic state. When something is done, it's more like it's done. All right. I feel good. This is done. This is complete. Yeah. I like to say, like I talk about in my book, Relax More, Try Less, it often is very similar or the same as a relaxed state. Oh, this is complete. We can relax now. Oh, everything's taken care of, or everything is happening in due order. Just relax. I'm relaxed. That's why in that book, Relax More, Try Less, I say if you can just focus on being relaxed more of the time, which is easier said than done, but if you can figure out how to relax more, which all of us can do by simply focusing on it more, whether that just means lying in bed longer each day or taking warm showers or doing whatever it is that helps you feel a little bit more relaxed. If we can focus more on being relaxed, we will probably find that our life gets better. We start feeling better. We might even manifest better things just by doing that. Relaxation, a state of acceptance, a state of being okay with what's going on, is much more similar, in my opinion, to that feeling is the secret state than a state of high vibe or, incredible ecstasy. But I'll take it further than that. I really don't think feeling is the secret. And that's why when people, especially in the law of assumption community and also like in the whole Abraham Hicks LOA community, and all these communities are really the same. It's all people spouting the same fucking bullshit and not going deep enough, in my opinion, and not getting deep enough into what the teachers were originally saying. But in all these places, it's like, and you see this again, like Reddit is rampant with this, Instagram, fucking YouTube, all these, like, people are chasing a state, a feeling. Like, this is it. I get the feeling I'm going to manifest it. Da, 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 da. They don't get, like, if you already really had the feeling, you wouldn't care about manifesting it because you'd already have it. I think what we're going for a lot more of the time is recognition. The recognition that everything's okay. If you're using Neville language, say, I already have it. Inwardly, I feel like I already have it. I already have it in the 4D, right? And it will inevitably manifest in the 3D. If we're using not quite as Neville language, it's more just this expectant language, like, oh, I feel fine. This is going to happen. What needs to happen to make this happen is going to happen. I'm going to do it. It is going to happen. I am going to heal that relationship. I am going to get that job or that amount of money. I am going to improve my health. That is a feeling of just positive expectancy. And again, it might make you excited sometimes, but it's more just like, yeah, this is going to happen. And this is why, unsurprisingly, it ties back so much to what Emil Kuay always talked about. For those of you new here, Emil Kuay is my favorite law of attraction type of teacher. He hugely influenced Neville as well as a bunch of other famous LOA teachers, but he hugely influenced Neville. And Kuay spoke about how the imagination always triumphs the will. And a lot of the ideas that Neville kind of expounded upon in regards to the imagination come from Kuay. But Kuay did not talk too much about feeling. He talked more where you recognize, you have that certainty or that conviction that this is going to happen. I'm going to do it. And it has a tendency to happen. That is real LOA. It's the recognition. If you want to use more spiritual language, you could say like, well, God is here. I'm recognizing God right now. And now that recognition might not make me feel like, oh, bliss, but like God nonetheless is here right now. Things are good. Things are God right now. What's the problem? Again, it's not necessarily going to be ecstasy or high vibe or fucking anything like that. But that's the truth. And that, in my opinion, is what Neville was really getting at. You could argue that's also what Abraham Hicks is getting at. Abraham Hicks is a lot more muddled. Not nearly as good teaching as Neville, in my opinion. But for some people, I can totally see why it resonates more. Recognition that you are okay, that there is peace right now, that there is God right now, that things are working out, that things already have worked out, that the dice are loaded and everything's fine as they are. That recognition is more important than a feeling. Feelings come and go. You get what you want, the feeling's not going to last nonetheless, at least for the vast, vast, vast majority of us. And people think that if they lose the feeling, they've lost their manifestation. And the truth is, there's nothing to lose. You already have it. That's what to recognize more. And if you just think, and again, this is why studying Kuay, like I've been talking about a lot recently, and I always talk about why studying Kuay is so important. If you just think, this is going to happen, and more importantly, because people in the law of assumption community do not take appropriate action all the time, Kuay would often say, like, you think something is going to happen, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what I need to do to make it happen. If you think that way, what you want is probably going to happen. That is not chasing a feeling. That is just conviction and certainty. And repeating to yourself, because we're imagining all the time that what I want is going to happen. I'm going to do it. This is going to happen. That is the law of assumption, in my opinion. It's not a feeling. Feelings come and go. Recognizing more and more that you're going to achieve what you want or get what you want, or that your life is getting better and better, to paraphrase Kuay. That's the real meat and potatoes a lot of the time. And again, all this stuff is super nuanced. That's why I call this an advanced video, quote unquote. Because, quite frankly, people can't handle the nuances. 95% of people who get into the law of assumption cannot handle any of these nuances. They absolutely cannot handle what I am saying right now, because there's way too much fucking common sense in it. And it's way too effective. And people don't like effective common sense advice. They like the fucking bullshit, the big promises, and under-delivering. I like under-promising, over-delivering. This is how you do it. Stop focusing on feeling and recognize that you can get what you want, and that you're going to get it, and that you can feel better, and that everything is fine and good right now, and you'll be better off, in my opinion, most of the time. If you'd like personal help from me, if you'd like a free short consultation, link is in the description. Again, you should be able to get Relax More, Try Less for free today. Link should be in the description for that as well. Until next time, recognize.